The idea behind the story clubs is to give children more incentives to do a lot of reading, but it's also a way to bring like minded families together and to do activities that just are funner to do when you've got a group to do them with. I wouldn't make the groups really large, maybe 5 or 7 families that want to get together, and you can hold it in public library meeting rooms so that nobody has to worry about getting their homes all ready or having a big enough house to fit all of you in. A lot of the public libraries are either free or they offer them for a very small fee. The idea is just to get together once a month for just a couple of hours. You could do it on an evening or in an afternoon. It's nicer to do it in an evening if you can include fathers too when they're home from work. You can pick and choose from the resources I'm going to show you, but I'll show you the vision that I have in mind. The first year I would organize it around the Freedom Series. And so the members of the group would all plan on reading that foundation reading that I have mentioned in the Story Resource Guide. But here's where the incentive comes in. This is done on the same line of thinking as the summer reading programs at the public library, where children get points for so many pages read or so many minutes read, and then they can come and redeem those points for some kind of a prize. And I would leave it up to your group to decide what kind of prizes that you want to offer to the kids. First of all, they'll earn their points based upon the number of minutes they've read. Give them 1 point for each minute, and that way you're not worrying about, if you do it by pages, you have some children that will zip through 100 pages when one will struggle through one. So I would do it based upon time. So they'll get points, they'll earn points for reading the foundation reading, but then this gives them a way to give them incentive to start going into some of the other books that are listed, to read anything within that month resource guide that they're interested in reading, and then giving them points for each minute that they've read. You can put together a little store of little prizes from the dollar store, or, like Oriental Trading Company, they have a lot of little trinkets if you think that's an incentive to your kids. Or maybe you can say all the members of the group that earn a certain number of points get to have an ice cream party, or they'll get to go to a roller skating party, or you can change it from month to month. Whatever you think will give the children in your group an incentive to do a lot of reading. One idea that would stretch out over several months is you could plan on putting together a silent auction and let the families in your group go through and, maybe you've got old video games you're not using anymore, or old toys, or whatever prizes. Maybe you have items in your home that you would donate, and you would set up a silent auction that the children can use the points that they've earned to bid on these prizes. If you go to some of the local food chains, they may even donate food coupons when they know what you're doing. Or maybe you'll want to just do some kind of recognition or achievement, or whatever your group can come up with that you think that your children will be motivated by to do a lot of reading. So part of that meeting will be used for awarding and redeeming points. But the other things that can happen at this meeting are how many places do our children get to pledge allegiance anymore, that they can be with other families who are pledging allegiance to the flag, or to be able to sing as a group? Each month I'm going to give you some resources that you can use, and I'll go back and highlight some of the stories behind the national songs that you can focus on learning the Star-Spangled Banner one month, or the the Beautiful one month, and then come together and be able to sing those as a group. Don't worry about pianos or accompaniment. That just voices together is a very powerful experience, and one that we don't have, that we don't get to participate in very much anymore. Another activity that can be part of this story club is to give the children a reason to memorize a poem each month. You can award a certain number of points to everybody who's memorized a poem, and then let them put their names in a basket, and then choose 1 or 2 to be able to recite that poem from memory, and give them a few extra points for doing that. But that's a wonderful opportunity to give children the chance to build confidence in front of a group of people. To recite a poem is a lot different than giving a talk, and to be able to give something by heart rather than reading from a paper is a really empowering experience for them. It's a real confidence booster. And then on the Story Club page, I will give you a suggested game that will have something to do with that month's reading that will involve the group, involve families. Just a simple little game, nothing elaborate. And then I've created Pinterest pages for craft activities. I would then suggest that you let the kids make a little craft to take home, and then there will be another Pinterest page that has refreshment ideas that have to do with the theme for that month. So the first year I would put it all, organize it around American history and go through the Freedom Series and get that going. And then the next year start introducing in cultural nights and doing it around the countries that they'll be studying. So again, you can have the foundation reading from the country that everybody's reading, but then at the activity night, there will be games that can be played from that particular country, craft activities, and again, refreshments and food, and make it a real fun cultural night. Another idea that you can work into this, as you will have seen in the resource section, and there's a section for plays, and this gives the children an opportunity to get together during the month and practice a play that now you provide an audience and a reason for them to put that play on for someone else to enjoy. You can also work storytelling into the group, give the children a reason to retell the stories. If we really want them to know the stories of America, they need to be able to tell them by heart. And this little group can give them a safe, comfortable place for them to practice this ability to tell stories by heart. Although I've designed these resources with the idea of story clubs forming, please use them any way you want to. If you don't have other families that you can meet up with, then use them within your families. You'll find links to all of these ideas that I've been talking about on the Garden of Liberty page on our website.